Hope we're on air.
We are we are on air,
Yay.
and there's no ad, surprisingly.
Now that you said it, you get like 4 ads in a row.
Sometimes, yeah, everything checks out.
Hooray. So I guess we're ready to get started then?
Aye.
Yep.
Of course, my mute button won't work. Let's see. Audio video settings. Alrighty then. We shall begin in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
All right. Welcome to another installment of the Fragments of Silicon reviews. 4 reviews up this week. The first of which is Stealthscape. Once again, mentioned that we were going to review this game on Wednesday's broadcast, which not coincidentally featured a in-depth interview about the game. I'll be honest, speaking frankly here, I was surprised we got as much information on Stealthscape as we did. It's not that this game is bad or anything. It's just, it's a rather simple game, as many of the games we do feature on the show are. Um, it's a fairly simple momentum-based shmup. You know, I will say it's got more going for it than, say, your average Ratalaika game, for example. But it's still, this is a thing that conceivably could have been a not so much an Atari 2600 game, but a golden age of arcade game. Now, hint: the 2600 wasn't putting out physics like this. Like,
Oh god, I think that set the thing on fire.
yeah, it's like you really couldn't do momentum on an Atari 2600. You could in the arcades, like Lunar Lander. Like, I'm trying to think if Lunar Lander it came to the 2600. Like,
The world may never know.
yeah,
Mm.
like could have been the 5200. Point is, point is, this is a game that has more Newtonian-based physics, so you do have to take into account inertia, velocity, that kind of thing. It's not just you pick a direction and you just move at full speed. You've got to bank, you've got to drift. You can't always speed because you're also very bouncy.
Yeah. A little too bouncy, in my opinion.
Yeah, I'd agree too. Honestly, that was the kind that put me off the game. You know, I felt less like I was controlling a ship and more a pinball.
Mm-hmm.
Now, it wasn't too bad, but you know, definitely some of the levels where you're trying, like when you're trying to hit the switches, and you're also dealing with deadly doppelgangers. I could definitely feel the limits of such a physics system. Um, very angrily. No, um, but yeah. So the basic premise is, well, race to the end. You are a ship. You have a certain amount of time to get to the end. But since this game was influenced by N plus, um, it's also if you collect the coins, your time gets increased. And as mentioned, there are also golden nuggets hidden that will unlock a Grand Prix mode, basically, where you get to do all the levels in one segment, and that'll unlock the ultimate gauntlet, which will allow you to do all the levels in one setting. So there's quite a bit to search for, should you wish to do so. I never felt particularly compelled to engage in that kind, but it's nice that the option's there. Like I said, there is definitely more going on here than some of the other, very simple arcade games that we feature, and that doesn't include what can be called the narrative, like, um, you know, there's definitely a narrative going on here. Like every time you complete a world, you're dealing with a lot, this meta DOS thing. Like, I'll be honest, I didn't find it too compelling. So, um, but I think that's a to each their own kind of thing. Once again, it is a cut above a lot of other games we featured here, which is just like the pure gameplay experience. Some games we feel like Breakpoint or Deleveled. Those are games that very simple arcade games, but are very pure in their gameplay. This game has a bit more of a meta narrative going on. As I said, it really reminded me of Super Hot Mind Control Delete. Really, the way everything was presented, especially. And that will factor in like second world. Once you get to the end, then things start getting loopy because then you have to start running the levels backwards. At least that one level backwards, and which was not easy. I'm like, and this is also nominally a shmup. I say that because honestly, the shooting mechanics felt very incidental.
Mm-hmm.
The enemies felt very token. Um, the bits and bobs you can shoot, they feel like afterthoughts at best. Not saying that's bad, but to call this a shmup is like, in the most technical of terms, it's really more about the momentum-based mechanics rather than the shooting. If I'm being honest, now once again, there's nothing bad with that. I just think labeling this as a shmup might give people the wrong impression because, well, shmup is short for shoot 'em up. You would be expecting to be. I think you'd be expected to do a lot more shooting.
Yeah, this is more of a get shot at 'em up.
Yeah, something like. Yeah, this is more about like dealing with obstacles and not getting hit. Once again, that just you might want to set expectations accordingly. Also, we did discuss on Wednesday in great detail the modding system, or because this does have a creation tool, and it's apparently very robust as well.
Mm-hmm. It has logic, shockingly enough.
I've never been a create a level kind of person. Like, that kind of thing never appealed to me. But once again, it's nice that the option's there, and the community's been taking advantage of it. So, and I'm, this is probably the kind of game where where if the community is robust enough, you not run out of content, even if you beat the entire single player game. And as far as the graphics go, once again, it's fairly typical minimalist style. Everything is pure abstraction, symbolic representations. We see this a fair bit on the program. It's nothing bad, but I've kind of long since ceased to be impressed by this particular art style. You know, it's kind of like 8-bit retro. It's not bad, but I would be lying if I said I wasn't kind of tiring of it. But once again, that's a subjective thing. You know, the art and the graphics, they're fine, they're clean. Everything is distinct about it. Music, music's fine as well. Um, you know, just fine. And yeah, um, any more thoughts from you, Petty?
Not really. Again, I'm not a big fan of how bouncy it is, but that's a me thing.
Yeah, yeah. I didn't like the bouncing as well. Like, I think that's the big turn off of this game. Outside of that, it's a perfectly fine game. Maybe it doesn't stand out too much on its own, but you know, it's got more going on than once again a fair amount of games that we feature on this program, both in the past and certainly in the future. Um, and let's see, pricing. Pricing may be the other sticking point to this game because it does clock in at $9.99. Um, the soundtrack is $1.99. The bundle is $10.78. A bundle would be recommended, though. $10 for Stealthscape here, maybe a bit much. I'd probably say this game would have been better priced at $5.
Well, I guess it really depends on how much you're into like the customization thing on it, because with how
Yeah,
robust it is, it even have its own logic and stuff.
yeah, I'd agree with that too. Like, if you're into this, then you'll get your money's worth. If you're not, I'd say wait for a sale. Yeah, it is worth noting that there's also a leveling up system, and you will unlock a lot of customization options. Not just your ship icon, but just about everything will be able to be customized, provided you put enough time in it. Um, yeah, This game, to get the most out of it, it would actually require quite a bit of commitment, which is surprising for something of this simplicity. You know, and yeah, I'd say that would be a subjective thing. Um, Personally, I'm probably not going to visit this game again after this review. Um, Granted, that's true for most games because there's always another game in the works. But it's fine. But that's about it. All right then. Um, any other questions, comments, or concerns over Stealthscape here? I guess not. So that'll about do it for this review. Be sure to tune in after the break as the Golics will be tackling Nicole for the Nintendo Switch.